Peace. It is I, O.G.B.O. for Mega Man Codes. About 2 days ago, I was talking to two younger guys that I work with. They come to me for a lot of advice. Of course, to them, they call me OG, and let me say this before I go into my topic. If you are blessed to be here after being in them streets, after going through those revolving doors, and the things we've been through, if you're blessed to still be here, and the younger brothers respect you, or the younger sisters respect you, fill their head with information. If you got that accord with them where you can give them some information, you can't chase them with it. I learned that when I first came home, and the young lady I was with, I pop up. We both worked at the same place, and I will pop up on her breakfast break and try to see if she was still eating pig or not, And I caught her a couple times, But in the Quran it says there's no compulsion in Islam. That means there's no force. You're not a warden. It's not your job to force these teachings on anybody. That's not your job. What you want to do, you want to walk in those teachings. You want with how you living your life to reflect those teachings. You don't want to say you this or you that, and people look at you and you doing something that they already know you got no business doing. That part. But if you're blessed to have you to still be here and to have the respect of those who coming up under you, rather than talking their head off about your glory days and how much money you got and all the heads you busting, tell them what you wish somebody would have told you. Okay, so this way the story starts. The brother asked me a question about. The question was, if you get locked up, you go to penitentiary, okay, and you got 10 years. Somebody pull up on you and say, either you gonna join this clique or you by yourself. And they're like, OG, what should you do? You in a major penitentiary, and it's like that. It's gladiator school. Do you join the clique or do you walk by yourself? And it took me a moment to respond. I had to give scenarios, and I told him, number one, your first time in, I'm not going to lie to you. You may want to get familiar with the clique, at least until you know what's what. Because when you new, you stand out like a sore thumb. Everybody know you new. And everybody's going to come to run game on you. You don't know who to trust. And that leaves you vulnerable. It's not the politically correct thing to say, but it's the reality. It's the real thing to say. But the downside to that is, a lot of times when you go to join a clique, you have to show that you're able to hold your own. So they're going to test you. And that test usually involves you stabbing somebody, busting somebody upside the head with something, which 9 times out of 10 is going to result in you going to the hole. And if you draw blood, you're getting anywhere from a year to 20 years added on to your time. That's the downside. Okay, the other approach is to keep your head down, stay out the way, curry it like you curried it. Now, this is the way I would curry it, but it would be hypocritical for me to say this to them. I know to curry it like this because I've been in the system. And for the most part, once you set that first person straight, because you're going to have to set somebody straight. That's just what it is. Somebody's going to try you. Once you stand up, 9 times out of 10, nobody's going to bother you. And that's even on the institutions where everybody got 20 years or better. Contrary to what they try to teach you, our people are not animals. Contrary to what they try to teach you, everybody in prison is not homosexual. But while speaking on the homosexual thing, here's something that a lot of people don't know. You assume that the one who's carrying himself like a woman is soft. No. Sometimes, depends on the circumstances. If he had his manhood taken from him, somebody punked him, but if that's not the situation and he just prefer men over women, a lot of them brothers, not only can they fight, they are 9 times out of 10 the one you're gonna have to fight. If you get into a situation with the prison boyfriend or prison husband, 9 times out of 10 you're not gonna fight him. You're gonna fight his boy. Real talk. And if you lose that fight, you might join that clique. Because there's this thing in prison, in major institutions, where, it usually happens with the so-called tough guys, the ones who got a whole lot of mouth. They'll knock you out, pull your pants down, and put a finger in your butt. That's the same as penetrating you with their penis. It's looked at the same way. Everywhere, every place you go. From that day on, even if you go home, violate, and come back, and somebody remember you, you're going to be looked at as a homosexual. This is O.G.B.O. It's a Mega Man Code explaining prison sexual behaviors explained. Till next time, peace.